Begone! I must admire Isabel's fulsome beauty away from
Sorry.
When Duke Elton formed the Flaming Fist, he sought out people of courage and honor to fill its ranks. You saved Daniel, lifted the curse, and killed an immortal. It's safe to say you'd have been recruited in an instant. Gruff and intimidating, but he had the courage of 10 men, and the love for Baldur's Gate few could match. I don't know if this Duke Ravengard is the same, but I will say this. The Flaming Fist are the cornerstone of the city, and the Dukes are its foundation. I hope you can save him, for the good of Baldur's Gate. Thank you, but look at me. I am a relic, a glimpse of history barely strong enough to stand on his own 2 feet. Besides, Nathaniel should have someone here when he wakes up. It's the least I can do. You don't have to worry about me. The truth is, the Shadowfell broke something inside me. Something no healer can fix. I don't know how long I have, but because of you, Nathaniel is safe. Because of you, I could help him as he helped me. So, thank you, my friend.
It'll take time, but this tower's stone will heal.
Perhaps the eye.
Moonrise has been cleansed. Baldur's Gate is next.
Curse this heart of mine.
Yes.
Do you have anything to eat?
No.
Then again, these towers are much like the Absolute. All flash, no substance.
A 1,000 days of darkness on the Iron Hands for dragging him into this.
There you are. I was wondering where the devil you'd been. That sounds slimy. Never mind your distasteful predilections. We need to talk about Wulbren. Wulbren and the Iron Hand gnomes are planning something dreadful in the city. They have rune powder, they have motive. We have to stop them. Because they're a gaggle of vindictive crybabies with no sense of propriety. That is to say, they gabbed about their plans like geese, and I overheard them. Like a very devious goose. With the sword of justice in one hand and the shield of self-righteousness in the other, we most certainly will. To saving the city. And my fool of a friend.
I owe you an apology. Barkus and I are another matter. I'm dealing with you right now. I saw you as a means to escape, nothing more. But when the sky lit up, when I followed it here, I knew you were behind it. I apologize for not seeing your true worth, and for being, quite frankly, rude in Last Light. Tough, but fair. And that's precisely why I want you by my side in Baldur's Gate. The Iron Hand gnomes are going to save the city, and you can be part of it.
You see a column of fire that dominates the sky in a blazing inferno. Nothing more.
The plan is what it's always been. To bring the work and innovations of the Iron Hand gnomes to every corner of the realm. Problem is, Baldur's Gate is sick. Once the pinnacle of greatness, it's eating itself alive to save itself from starving. Find me in the city. And once you see what it's become, you'll know that I, and I alone, can stop it.
Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
Miss Alfira wants to write us a song about you.
Alfira's writing us a song. A stupid song won't bring Mole back. Tell her, won't you?
Why, yes. Once Alfira's done with this song, we will be looking for patrons. All coppers welcome, pal.
Poor kids. I should try to cheer them up.
You're here. Good. That's good. Me? Oh, I'm fine. I'm just worried about the kids. Maul is still missing, and they haven't taken it too well. I've been trying to cheer them up. We're writing a song together. But I think they're just humoring me. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't we play together? Yes! I've missed this. you can't keep up, don't take it to heart.
Molly's gonna come through those doors any moment now. I miss Mom.
That was a blast. Thank you. I hope we get to play again sometime soon. That was a blast.
When did singing ever save any?
What's taking Mom so long?
That was a blast.
Go home, Marcus, he says. Ha.
We leave the heart of the Absolute alive. Thanks to you. You did well to defeat Ketheric. But Ketheric was only the first to fall. There are many more battles ahead, and they will not be so easily won. You will need allies. Jaheira's wisdom will be an asset to you on the journey ahead. Her harpers, too. Halsin's strength and loyalty will bolster you in times of need. But if we are to succeed, we will need others. Even if the buildings are demolished, there are always survivors. There are always those who will fight. Baldur's Gate may not know it yet, but its fate is bound to ours. Seek on its streets those whose purpose aligns with our own, and invite them to our cause. Together, we will put an end to the
The road to Baldur's Gate is west of the town. If we hurry, we'll arrive before the Absolute's forces.
The pride of the gate.
I applaud your taste.
Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
The curse curse is broken and the shadows are lifting. In time, these lands will heal. The party's full. You'll need to make room. Well chosen.
You saw Gortash, didn't you? What the fuck was he doing down there? Is all of this because of him? The tadpole, the Absolute. How? I'd never have protected a Bay Knight even a decade ago. I looked after that fucker with my life. I trusted him. He gave me away to Zariel without a second thought. And now he's looking to ruin the entire Sword Coast! He has to die. And I'm gonna be the one who kills him! He can't get away with what he's done. To me. To us. He won't get away with it.
The shadows are losing their grip on these lands. Shah can indeed be thwarted. Comforting to know. You wanted something? I'm sorry. Your dance card is full. Lose a partner and they'll be wonderful. You wanted something?
I never saw myself as a banisher of shadows before. I was always more of a lurker-in, historically. Before anything else, I need to know where it's happening. To the public, Cazador is an ordinary noble, a little reclusive perhaps, but just another of the great and the good of Baldur's Gate. He has a grand palace on the hills of the gate, where he hosts the city's high society. I don't know if he performed the ritual there. It feels too public. He'd risk exposure. I know. Subtle, isn't it? Mephistopheles is one of the Lords of the Nine Hells. Raphael is not going to let any ire be tracked back to him. Perhaps Raphael even will gain from setting us on this course, who can say? All I know is I need to unravel the secrets around Cazador's ritual. And I can only do that in Baldur's Gate.
I think we've done rather a good thing here. A welcome change. To gift this land a sliver of hope amongst so much despair.
The shadows are lifted. Finally.
I would not linger in this land over long. But whatever your business...
Leave.
Like its will be done.
Shadow curse is banished. I like the dark, but not when it's trying to kill me.
The road to Baldur's Gate is up ahead. No turning back once we start down that road. The Absolute's armies are on the march, and Baldur's Gate is their target.
Thaniel rests well. He's healing very rapidly, now that Oliver has returned to him. I can't say for certain, but we'll see it come to pass long before this place recedes behind us. Don't worry. All is at hand. We can depart whenever you're ready. No more than my right hand can absorb my left. Oliver is helping Thaniel to recover. They both lie dormant, like trees awaiting spring. Once the curse is lifted, they can stand as one or as a pair. Whatever they wish. I hope they will remain as a pair. It will be good for them both to have a friend, once I'm gone. Still, I would like to return here someday. See Thaniel and Oliver again. In my meditations, or perhaps in person, if the Oak Father wills it. I hope he does. I have. But perhaps there is more that I want. Anyway, once the curse is lifted, nature can take its course without me. I belong at your side. Not what, who. But all in due course. I knew I could put my faith in you. If only we had met sooner.
You did it. Ketheric Thorm is no more. The Shadow's grip is broken. I would agree. Nature moves at its own pace, and bestows its bounty when it...
I, for one, will miss the Shadow Curse. For all the pain it caused us, it did at least obscure the incessant sun. I take no pleasure in his passing. Whatever faults he may have had, Ketheric was a great leader. Life was crueler to him than death. It is no great wonder that he found his strength in Merkel. I believe he was an honorable man, but the gods used him as their plaything. First, Shah and her sister, then the three behind the Absolute. I sympathize. A meaningless question. If he had killed us and conquered the Sword Coast, I would envy him. As it is, he lost, and I pity him. But I will never forgive him for handing me to Orin. For that, I hope Merkel hollows out his bones and lets them be dust. A true soul came to my city preaching a message. Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such messages. I killed them and hanged their bodies in my garden. I would have picked prettier corpses if my intentions had been aesthetic. This was a warning against heresy. I was not content with the warning, though. I intended to wage war on their insolent god and the rest of its followers. Even as the flesh sagged and sloughed away from their eyeless skulls, their audacity infuriated me. I had to know where they came from. And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity overcoming my caution. Yes. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers. No. I was prepared for combat, but I intended to strike subtly. As it turned out, to my shame, I was defeated without even drawing my weapon. I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins, the best House Bainray had to offer. I expected a battle, but found a fully laden feast table and a welcome befitting a house matron. Ketherick expected us, expected me, and I fell for his flattery. I recognize my flaws. Pride is certainly among them. Ketherick proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table. Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them. Few things frighten me. Orin is one of them. Ketherick held me still, his hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. "I want this one," she said. Ketherick nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed. Some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye herself. I deserved it. I was passive, weak, proud. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance.
I can't believe it. And my father, by killing him, you set him free. You set Aelin for a great deal. But still, some of the details elude me. Ketherick Thorm was my father. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, We were elated. Dame Aelin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight? This was different. It was like I could see my fate in her eyes. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aelin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aelin, then... And this is where I still need answers. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. I didn't know that then. But I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. I found last light within the shadows, made a shelter there, prayed my father wouldn't find me. By the time Jaheira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land, my home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them. And myself. It's all out in the open now. And with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. I'm grateful for your help. Your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospital.
What do you know about me? You spoke of my past. Being chased by wolves. I told no one about that. Almost no one. But I certainly didn't share that with you.
There is nothing I can tell you that you do not already know yourself. They trained you well, trained you hard. Chiseled away any part of you that did not fit their plan. They made you forget.
I chose to do that. For the mission to protect Shaz.
Secrets. Yes, yes, that is an old song, girl. Your goddess cares more for her precious secrets than she does her devotees.
Get to the point.
When you freed me, you severed a bond between me and that dog, Thorm. A bond of pain. His, inflicted on me. When I laid eyes on you, I sensed a similar bond. You, tethered to two others. Someplace distant. Let me help you remember.
You feel Shadowheart's mind tug at the edges of your own. You know this sensation. She wants you to see whatever is about to be revealed. Your mind joins with Shadowheart's. Something pulls at you both, bringing you elsewhere. Something sparks in your memory. Teachings about Selûnite rites of passage, about how they would abandon their children out in the wilds and force them to find their way home. It seems that one child never came back. She was taken.
What? Who was that man?
You already know. Did you not see yourself in him? Do you not recognize your own blood?
My father. That was him.
That is him. He lives still. And your mother, too.
No. It can't be. I'm an orphan.
And who told you that? Your adoptive family? You are not to blame. You were young, impressionable. They took you because they wanted to break and remake you. But you are a child no longer. You are a woman. One who knows what must be done.
My parents. I need to save them.
I don't know.
Your parents both followed the Moon Maiden. I could sense their faith, even in a brief glimpse of the past.
It is a tragedy that the Moon Maiden's right was perverted by Shah. Your future was stolen from you.
Your parents are with your abductors. You will need to return to their lair. But be warned. You may have once thought of them as comrades, mentors, friends, even lovers. They will all be enemies now. You have been forewarned for what is to come, but not yet forearmed. I was able to retrieve it before it sank too far into Shah's umbral domain. Shah is quick to discard whatever she has no use for. I think you know that well enough, but I felt it call to me as I took flight. Whatever Shah calls her own, Selûne has equal claim to. They are one and the same. Their power is matched and mirrored. Take it. You will find it useful. What you do with it, that will be up to you. Same as before.
I'll need every advantage, it seems. Thank you.
A debt repaid. You returned my life unto me. Now go and claim your own.
It hurts.
Shah torments you still. What a spiteful creature she is. This will not stop until you take action. See that your parents' sacrifices are not in vain. Allow the Moon Maiden to guide you at last.
I've been lied to. My whole life. And I was gullible enough to just believe it. My parents are alive, and I have to save them. I think a part of me always knew that. A part that Shah denied to me. Indeed. But the truth may yet prove painful. Who knows what Shah still keeps from me? We'd better press on for now, and hope we're ready when the moment comes. But before that, there's one thing I need to see to. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Just leave it with me. Fine. What's on your mind? How are you holding up? Don't be so modest. I can't remember the last time I met someone like you. Perhaps I never...
The curse has been lifted. The land's cleansed of the shadows. Kethric's reign of living death is over. Your courage has been tested, and in this at least, you have triumphed.
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wern's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the flaming fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping and yes sir, no sir, rip and cut your throat, sir. Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the prism bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
I itch to peel you, to split your skin, to see your skull shine in the light. Little tyrant. Lucky for you, I harvested a whole family of living flesh in Rivington at high sun. They will sate my blade thirst tonight. Oh, but tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow, my blades will thirst again.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.
The gate is closed, as is Cazador. Cazador and his rite of profane ascension. An imperial soiree, attended by devils and spawn alike. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And elevate him to an unfathomable station. To place him in a position of such esteem. The world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks. We will kill him, but there's more to it. Think about it. It sounds like Cazador, for all his evils, has gotten further than any of my kind ever have. He's on the verge of a miracle. This may be a beginning, not an end. I can see myself now. Lord, King, Master. If the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place before his blood can hit the floor. What's a handful of the wretch's servants? If they're anything like me when I was enslaved, they're all but begging for death anyway. After 200 years of shit, pure shit! I think I deserve something better. All I'm saying is, let's be clever about it. If an opportunity arises for me to become a more magnificent bastard than I already am, why turn it down? Let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finely positioned for yours truly to ascend. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us, likely with bared fangs. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. Unless Cazadors change their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking prey.
What's in here?
Painful truths have been thrust upon Shadowheart. I believe she is strong enough to endure, but her path will be...
Shadowheart has found a little bit of herself again. Selûne cannot take all of the credit. She may have lit the way, but it is the cleric who took this step. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my end. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? Don't tell me which. Against all life experience, I will choose to assume the best. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. Then, greetings, Sir Tadpole. I was wondering where all the questions suddenly sprang from.
Taken from the light to be... The truth is finally dawning. Shadowheart can follow its light, or...
Shadowheart was no true child of Shar, merely a...
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey.
Poor Shadowheart. She's been jerked around so much. He got his claws into me early. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work guarding some indoorsy type with lots of He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I like that. Not like that. Yet I kept him safe and he paid me well. Well enough to move into a better I respected him. Trusted him. And he returned that. The whole thing with Zariel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was over. One minute I was in Baldur's Gate, a happy, healthy, not quite kid. The next, I was burning up in Avernus with an engine for a heart. Zariel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new... He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't.
There you are. I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer. Feel my voice rattle your bones as I... Moon Maiden Selûne. Hear my mate most high. Blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One. Listen to the subtle vibrations of the Moon Maiden thumping within your heart chambers, friend. My darling Isabel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it. Pray, ask, and I will tell. Do I not radiate with my mother's brightness? There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb. Why, she already has. So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together, we will set this fair land free. Ketheric Thorn. Father of my one and only love, enslaver of Dame Aelin. Ketheric Thorn never did trust me, even when he worshipped the Moon Maiden. He was threatened by my love when she died. Curse the day, the hour. We each of us mourned bitterly. But he turned to wretched Shar, the Lady of Loss, for relief. He and his loathsome advisor, Balthazar, lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature. And Ketheric fed upon my But lo, the brute is dead.
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm...
At least Shadowheart is armed with the truth now. May its keen edge draw forth whatever vengeance she desires.
It does not surprise me that Shadowheart's faith was based on a lie. Deception is...
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With her help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. Will you liberate them from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? Right now, your resolve feels firm, but there is no knowing how you will feel when the moment comes. You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
Hear me. Gather. The reckoning is upon us. The city thirsts for domination. March. Join power.
We're under attack. Help me.
Moving.
Victory awaits. Make way.
Limpet Luster.
Fight your way to the portal. I need your help.
Have to keep going.
Let's end this.
On my way.
Victory awaits.
You barely brain to feed a louse.
On the move.
Come quickly. I can't do this without you.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Got to focus.
Hurry, or we will all become thralls.
That thing's not going to hold together much longer.
I'm here. Help me. I'm under attack.
Trust no one.
Action, not reaction. Enough waiting. I crave blood.
It's not over. Come to the skull. Hurry. I can't hold them back alone.
Someone there?
Victory awaits.
Another fight. Let's go.
It's not over. Come to the skull.
dull moment.
I need you, now!
Saved a child from a viper, back in the Druid's Grove. You saved the Asima Night Soul from her soul cage. You let me live last time you were here, though it brought Blackhead's wrath upon you. Your continued existence as yourself, and not a mind flayer, should be all the proof you need. Now, help me.
Despite your best attempts to be subtle, the Mind Flayer's awareness is everywhere. You blunder in its presence like a walk pup learning to walk.
You must be joking. I am telling you my thoughts directly into your head. But if you insist on taking a look for yourself, be my guest.
Nothing in your colorful existence to date could have prepared you for this. As the horror subsides, you are left with only one coherent thought. You must do whatever you can to subdue the Githyanki.
Happy? Now, join me. Fight! We can turn the tide.
the slaughter.
Shit it out!
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Stay focused.
Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer, yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
It's obscene to owe my life to a damned geich. No more lies, no more tricks. I will have answers!
You grew attached to a mere disguise, but you judge without even knowing me. I was someone once, someone just like you. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure, to a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. For years, I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield, the largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence, though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while, until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Indeed, his hubris knows no bounds. To enslave me, that was his nature. But to enslave an Elder Brain, a questionable decision. I shall look forward to sharing his downfall with you. Rather than potential future allies, like you. Prince Orpheus, son of the first leader of the Githyanki.
Orpheus? Impossible. He was slain by Justil Kithrak himself.
Quite possible, I assure you. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus' mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus' mother left, a usurper took her place. Vlaakith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Vlaakith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my honor, Prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. No. Gortash sent me on a mission to retrieve the astral prison. I was one of many, but the first to find it. How Gortash or the other chosen learned of its existence, I do not know. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prison was for: containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus and find allies in the outer world. You. Most certainly Orpheus. Some Githyanki still revere him, in defiance of their teachings. Blackith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead.
I don't understand. The histories claim the prince was burned to ash in the skies.
Your histories are fabrications. The prince was not killed, as you can very well see. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Blackith will be finished. That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him, and in so doing, he would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion, a pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a illithid, a sworn enemy, just like me. You are already more illithid than you realize. It has improved you. You seek to reverse an inevitable process. A process of evolution. When I first escaped from the Elder Brain, I too railed against the change. But the longer I have inhabited this form, the more it has grown on me. Even if my original body remained intact after I transformed, I would not return to it. Doing so would only impose limitations. As an illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You too should embrace this change. I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. The answer is twofold. One, I can, but it would kill. Two, why would I? You have done well with the limited form you have. So, do you wish to evolve or not? You will be able to do things you never thought would, and you will soon see that the benefits outweigh any perceived loss. I understand. Let us hope then that your present self will be sufficient to deal with 3 gods of death and a giant magically enhanced Elder Brain. But in case you change your mind... look after it. Use it when you're ready to evolve. You or your allies. It has vitality enough for you all. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The Brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the Brain, and bring it under our control.
The orb hums with cerebral magic, permeable but impenetrable. Within it, the Githyanki prince is as silent as a corpse, but for the murmur of his powers being siphoned away.
To do. Is that blood? No, never mind.
Well, hello.
Let's get going.
There is nothing further I can do for you.
I'm exhausted. Better find some...
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Gaith visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our Gaith slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Yes. Our current queen has claimed undeath and reigned for 1,000 years. But it was the first whom Orpheus tried to slay. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle, or so the Varshas teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant Illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. The seed. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt. 2 words, and they would rage. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must leave. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smashed through the Githyanki Empire and glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. The Emperor may be loath. Orpheus can disrupt a Geich hive mind. Why destroy a weapon like that, when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than better to risk the rise of Illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she... Orpheus is trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husk. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of... Very well. It also promises to break us beyond repair. There will be ice where once there was fire. There will be a void where our souls once resided. Galik, the Elder Brain. It could be the harbinger of the grand design and the doom of the Githyanki. The end time of the 16 planes will be upon us, and the Astral would be the first to fall. Very well. I will accept what this damnable Geichrok has to offer. Yisk Githkar Tafki Krashet.
Life pulses from within. It wants to share itself with you.
Go on. Don't be afraid. It only wants to help you evolve.
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole's essence courses through you. Where it touches, your flesh, glands, organs contract and flood with pure thought. You feel different. Your body has never felt more connected. Your mind present in every flex of a joint or muscle.
Perhaps, once the others see what you can...
How can I assist?
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact, or astral prism, the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something? Fine. What's on your mind?
So, and now it's offering us power, if we're willing to... evolve. We both know what it is capable of, but I'm not touching it. That was before I knew the cost. Before I knew it meant transforming in... I remember how it hurt when I turned into a vampire. My body writhed and warped while I was utterly helpless. The grip of death owned my heart. I don't want to turn into anything else. I can't do that again. I am not. I just don't want to lose my God's-given good looks, really. Wouldn't that... I'm really not sure.
As you pick apart his mind, you discover his worst memory. That which brings him the purest terror. Complete solitude after being disobedient. Sealed, buried alive. Voiceless. Will this be forever? A year of horror, then the release. He will never disobey again.
Damn you. All right. I'll do it.
Life, it wants to share itself.
Go on. Don't be afraid.
A coldness seeps through your veins. The tadpole's essence courses through you. You feel different. Your body has never felt more connected.
Perhaps. Once the others see...
You're staring at me again. What do you want?
Be honest. What do you think of the new look? I'm glad. Though, I don't think I'm quite done with the past yet. Not until I've been to Baldur's Gate.
Love Shadowheart's new look. Softer, less severe. Yes, and at a great cost. I'm not about to make such a sacrifice. Not now, not ever. The coast is ever my priority. Very well. I will avail myself of... Well met.
I'm really not sure about putting any trust at all in this. I've got my eyes on the Ember.
Gods, Shadowheart looks like a stack of gold. Never thought I could get so excited about someone's forehead, but here we are.
no more radiant sight than that of someone who's learnt, shadowed in name, but no longer in spirit. It suits her. I can only imagine what I could do were I to adopt the biology of a mind flayer. You've not taken this power for yourself, so I can only wonder, why offer it to me? If this is what the fates have offered to aid our cause, then who am I to refuse? What's on your mind? How can I help? Oh, nothing would give me greater pleasure. Back in the thick. What's on your mind? Direct me.
Life, it wants to shake.
Go on. Don't be afraid.
A cold the tadpoles as you feel.
Perhaps.
No one back home will ever believe this.
Shadowheart looks different. Admirable ambition. Indeed. You wish to consult me? We will need every advantage to survive the battles. If this superior tadpole is capable of I am surprised you have not drawn on its power yourself. I will be
Life pulses from within. The parasite's thoughts whisper at the edge of your mind. It wants to share itself with you. It wants to be let in.
Go on. Don't be afraid. It only wants to help you.
A cold the tadpoles that you feel.
Perhaps. Once the others see what you...
By my oath.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Reporting.
What now?
We must find where Gortash and Orin have established themselves. And take their nether stones.
Waiting for my return. We should do what we can to find them. What they know could help us.
Excuse me. I can't find my mum. She was sick. She had spots on her face and hands. She went to go get some herbs, and she was supposed... That was last 10 day, though. Wow. Thanks. I'll look for her. Thanks a lot.
Nearly there now. You see the city? Up on the hill.
I see it. It's up there and we're down here.
I do not understand why the matrons, patriarchs of the city do not open their gates to the refugees. I was not suggesting they be allowed to roam free. They should be put to work. The city needs laborers and fodder to protect it. I am suggesting they be fed and sheltered, and that they work in return. The next urchin that tries to pick my pocket will lose its hand. Half of the children here are already mutilated by poverty and starvation. I am reminded of the Breran, the stench streets of Menzoberranzan, where the sick and the outlawed make their homes. Despite the destitution, there is profit and opportunity to be found in such places, if one is willing to wade through the squalor. From the still, dark waters of Lake Donegarten to the black academies of Tierbresh, it is a city of wonders and terror. But it is not my home anymore. If I were to return, I would be denied all of its wonders and shown only the terror. If you had seen my city's splendor, you would not ask the question. I am a daughter of Menzoberranzan's most ancient and powerful house. My home was at the tallest point of Cuel Arzol, the place I enjoyed every luxury, whether harvested in the Underdark or stolen from the surface. And I survived my first assassination attempt while I still suckled at my mother's breast. I tasted her blood that day. She covered my body with her own, and a blade bit deep into her chest, almost puncturing her heart. When I came of age, she tried to take my life herself, and I gave her fresh scars to match those she earned protecting me. I expect so. If the world were to end, I think my mother would survive to rule over the ruins. She taught me to be resilient and to guard my heart from those who cannot be trusted, literally and figuratively. When I choose to let somebody close, I do not do so lightly. That gives a great depth of meaning to the bonds I do share. Yes, I only know it through history books and hearsay. A city of murder and grief. I expect it will live up to its legend.
One time, we'll make an exception. Can't talk. I'm sorry.
Do you know where we're going?
We told our son that this is a holiday to spare.
Welcome to Rivington. South, Coast Way. North, Worms Crossing.
Turn back, citizen. No passage in this... It's bloodier than a butcher's backyard out there. The cultists assaulted the gate. They nearly had it too, before the Steel Watch intervened. A little more than that. You'll see for yourself soon enough if you head...
Anything you want for supper. All the treats your tummy can handle.
Worms Crossing. We could be inside the city walls before long. And I could be back where this all started. I hope so. So long as I'm willing to stroll right into the Mother Superior's trap, they have no reason to not tell me where to go. Not quite. Above all else, protecting our base of operations in Baldur's Gate was the reason I had to surrender my memories to begin with. Or at least, that's what I was led to believe. We should look for someone to point me in the right direction. Otherwise, we'll have little recourse but to wander the whole city searching. Worms Crossing is a choke point. If I wanted to intercept a new arrival, I'd find somewhere before the bridge, blend in amongst the crowds, and wait. Most people seeking entry to the city will be refugees. Almost pleasant traveling with company, if you ignore all the less...
As long as you stop sulking and start walking right now.
What are you calling this huge business?
Cheap and cheerful. Refugees for hire.
Really there now?
Right?
You can see the city.
Mate,
Up on the hill.
there is so much wrong with that name.
That's why we need to walk just a little more. One foot in front of the other.
The place was empty. Keep those thugs away from my family.
Danuvia! Get these squatters out of my house now!
Arthur, sweetheart, you paid me and my boys to be caravan guards, not cattle wranglers. If you want us to get our hands dirty, it'd be our pleasure. But that'll be extra.
This is my home. I may pride myself on my philanthropy, but I draw the line at being a halfway house.
This man's indignant demeanor barely masks a seething anxiety. There's more to this situation than he's letting on.
Zenobia and I are just navigating a slight contractual disagreement. Not that it's any of your concern. Agreement? Why should I negotiate with the vermin who've stolen my house? I've got nothing to say to them. Old family motto: never trust anyone who works for free. What's in it for you? I never said anyone needed to get hurt, as long as they get out as soon as possible. But other than that, I don't care what methods you use.
I see you're a charitable sort. Perhaps we just lost a load of gold thanks to somebody interfering in our business, you...
Is the little dog trying to intimidate us? If it continues to bark, I will snap its neck.
The Guild, a loose coalition unifying every criminal outfit in the city under one collective rule, from cut purses to contract killers.
Oh, you know, it's shocking how many people opt for the hard way when the easy way is right there. Any last words? You're serious? Let's forget this unpleasantness ever happened. Come on, boys. We've got places to be.
What do you get out of this?
You see, those animals are out of the picture. Can we stay now? Or are you going to turn us next? Same way lots of us did. Trying to get away from the army of the Absolute. If you had the chance to put a roof over your family's heads after being on the run for Torm knows how long, wouldn't you? Make it quick if you can.
All's well, I hope, aside from the obvious.
All's well that ends well, eh? I'm sure the Guild will be in touch with any concerns.
What's the word? Can we stay? I don't want to take charity from some stranger. But I will. For the sake of my daughter, thank you. We'll get going as soon as we've got our things together.
Everyone deserves the chance to make some coin.
Finally, those awful squatters. I've got so much to do now, I'd really bet.
Nearly there now. You see the city? Up on the
Do try the grass.
That's why we need to walk just a little more.
Refugees for hire. Catchy, right? I just told you. There is so much wrong with that name.
When did you realize the red caps had escaped?
Think about it. They're stuck here with no coin and nothing to do. Alerted me. Well, going to hire threw a rock at me and said, just like that. Cleaning, cooking, construction, the possibilities are endless. What do you get out of this? Well, it's the right thing to do, isn't it?
Nearly there
Everyone
now.
deserves the chance to make
You see the
some
city?
coin.
Up on the hill.
Look, I really don't have time to chat. I'm sure you can find someone less busy. Thank you so much for your interest, but it... If we have any idea how much a cleaner costs these days...
What's that? Can't keep me out. Watch how you go. There's a trap.
What now?
I've got a long road ahead. Trap. Be cautious.
What a day. Be careful. There are traps about. Traps. How considerate.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. Trap. Be cautious.
Careful, I bite. Traps. How considerate. A trap. Someone doesn't like visitors. Let's crack it open.
All's well that ends, well, not as bad as it could have. Be wary. This place is trapped.
A trap! Let us send forth our least favorite temptation.
I doubt a bear this size went down without a fight. Let's see.
Keep your distance, darling. Should be easy. Hardly the home of a sweet, generous soul. It might be worth looking into his donations. Who knows what he's been giving?
What in the hells was that?
Whatever it is doesn't bode well.
With pleasure.
These squatters. I should put their traps under the windows next time.
Oh, my hand slipped.
Where is my candle? Did they take my...
You again. Did you need some sinister? Nonsense! They're extremely precious. And you shouldn't be poking around in my workshop and tampering with them. Keep it together, Arthur. There's no evidence that links this back to you. And you definitely locked the basement before you left. Really? There's no this? And I go away for a few days and the place is ruined.
If I was a Sharon lookout, this is the sort of place I'd wait around.
Anything you want for supper. All the treats your tummy can handle.
I'm never allowed sweet things right before bed.
What's that?
Books again.
My! The fates move in strange and scrumptious ways. After our little interlude at last light, I was worried you'd gone quite mad. Did it? I'm not so sure. I'd quite like to get inside. But But it's difficult to shuffle your way to the top of the queue when you're, well, as big as an ox. But what if I was smaller, more discreet? Maybe then a kind soul might bring me through. Right in their little pocket. Ooh. This day has ended, so now, you don't worry about me. I'll be a good, quiet little apple you can tuck into the corner of your pack. Hail, Cyric! I can't wait to get inside.
Back off and return to your homes. That's an order.
Why don't you protect us instead of these scruffy outfits?
Young lady, Shadowheart, a word.
Baldurians! Stand with me against this tide that...
Please just go home. You're ruining a perfectly...
The flaming fists are supposed to protect this good... Oh. Another visitor, I see. Listen, we keep letting the likes of you in. Soon, there'll be no room left for any of us true Baldurians. Excuse me? I was born inside the city walls, a Baldurian through and through. Wherever you're from, clearly they don't teach manners.
Oh, God. Go talk to Nestor if you must. I've got...
The excess of refugees outside the city walls could easily become a surplus of laborers.
I just lost a wager.
Who are you?
Someone who bet that you'd never be foolish enough to actually show your face in this city again. But here you are. And the gold in my purse is soon to take flight. There have been whispers about you, sister. About your faith, your loyalty, your company. I can't help but feel the strangest twinge of disgust as I look upon you. Is it true? Has Our Lady forsaken you?
I know the truth. I know my parents still live. Tell me where they are, and I have no quarrel with you.
I'm afraid the quarrel is unavoidable, thanks to you. Now I must report your reappearance. If you are intent on bringing matters to a head, then seek out the House of Grief in the lower city. Though, if I was you, I'd be very tempted to just forget it all and disappear. You have some form at doing so, after all.
Are the gods truly this petty?
I'm not paid to debate with civilians.
No, we pay taxes for you to protect us, not these intruders.
I'm paid to take down troublemakers, so don't make trouble. File a report, and I'm sure the Menet will deal with it.
If you want to chat, talk to...
Donations? Food, sundries, gold. These poor refugee sods need all the help they can get. I'm gonna let you through because I don't want to take any risks. But you bet... I hear you've been given permission to...
I say, terribly decent of you to come over and exchange pleasantries. Oh, how kind of you to say. I have been growing my bristles out. It's something of an art, you see.
I didn't ask for your opinion, Fist.
Salutations once more.
Manit Nesta may have given you the benefit of the doubt, but I... Manit Nesta may have...
You best not piss away.
Are you going to search the...
Now, mind your tongues. Leave Christine to me.
Careful. There's a trap here.
You were right. Explosives. Now give me some room. I need to make sure the rest of these donations are safe. You try and find whoever is responsible for this.
Oh, it's only a couple of pots. I'll do it.
Toys trapped to injured children. It's abominable.
Who would do such a thing?
Tempers are rising.
I thought this assignment was going to be dull. Toys trapped to injured children. It's abominable.
Are the gods truly this petty?
Oh, gods! Are they gonna see it? What happens if they don't see it? Yes! Oh, goodness, yes! I am a good dog! Fantastic stuff! Oh, yes, you're lovely. Oh, yes, yes, yes! Oh, yes, yes, yes!
No, I'm afraid I must insist you do not pet the hound.
My love, you can't keep being so rude to...
All the grabbing and touching startles poor Biscotti. I will not apologise for caring about my boy.
Whatever the dog thinks, being here is much better than being out there.
Well, the children can be a touch grabby, but war is no place for a precious little baby like Biscotti after all.
Oh, yes, yes!
I apologise.
What was that, my dear?
Nothing, Doc.
Here we are, Griselda.
The circus of the last days has returned. see Dryads, Jinn, and Dribbles the Clown back with a new act.
Just a little singed, eh, Scotty?
Glad to see you. Glad to see anybody, really. It was a lonely road getting here through those abandoned farmlands, and I'm a sociable sort.
Oh, to be fair, for a miserable collection of shabby hovels jam.
That's a bigger issue than modesty, dear.
I'm not paid to debate with civilians.
I got you!
With farmers. What are we gonna do in the city?
So I'm pretty sure they only labourers to shore up the walls, boy.
You're right.
Got it?
This isn't the door you're supposed to fist.
They're beggars and criminals, and we won't have them.
Fire's good, and I'm sure the man
Haven't you got anything better to do with your time than harass innocent craftspeople? What? How? 9 hells. Whatever you think you know, I'm sure some gold would help you to forget. Please don't. What do you want from me? It's not mine. They would have killed me if I refused to rig the toys. And they're definitely going to kill me now. I can't tell you. I won't tell you. All right. Just don't hurt me. The teddy bears were an experiment. My greatest invention. A clever little device in their chest allows them to speak. But there's more. Smoke powder inside the device. I collect packages from Verloga's fireworks in the lower city and stuff the bears with it. Not because I want to, because I have to. Otherwise, they'll kill me. I don't know who's in charge, but it starts at the fireworks shop. That's where the packages come from. Go there, tell them Uncle Verloga sent you, and they'll show you the smoke powder. Lots of it. There. I told you what you wanted to know. Now, will you let me go?
His plea comes with an offering, a pass granting you access to the lower city.
You can't be serious. They'll find me. A cell won't keep me safe. They run this city. All right, I'll go. But if I'm found hanging in my cell, it'll be on your conscience.
Think about it. They're stuck here with no coin and nothing to do. You're going to hire all the refugees.
Beggars and criminals, and we won't have them.
Control the men at the
can't stay here in Rivington. The danger to all.
Teensy investment to get me started.
Be a spy for the absolute.
Nearly there now.
Return to your bones.
See the city.
That's an order.
Why don't you protect us instead of these scruffy outlanders?
I heard you tracked down the man responsible for those explosive toys. Good work.
Attention, fists! Listen up. One more dereliction of duty.
You did me a real favor clearing all those ghouls out of Moonrise. That old bonebag Ketherick had some fancy junk stashed behind all the cobwebs and piles of gore. Wish I could tell you. We're stuck out here, but most of the action is beyond Worm's Crossing. Didn't you? Figured we only got the scraps you didn't have the strength to carry. Would I try to fool a sharpie like you? Have a look. Stay away from... Hello again. Looking for something different? Would I try to fool a sharpie like you? Have a look. Stay away from trapped chests.